Welcome back. What do we got going on today? Well, it's December 1st, and it's a pretty nice afternoon. It's balmy 9 degrees here in Whites Lake, Nova Scotia, and I got the barbecue going. So what have I got going in the barbecue today? Oh, a couple of nice roasted crankcases going on here. Let's see what 230, actually 201 according to that. 206, and this one is 155 or so. Okay, so I'm heating up those crankcase halves so I can get the bearing race and the bearing out of the crankcases. So we'll just keep heating them up and see how long this takes. Shouldn't be very long. Wait, I just heard an interesting clunk in here. Yeah. There's one bearing out. That's the timing side bearing. This one, yeah, that one's out too. That's the race from the drive side. So hard to handle things and hold the phone all at the same time. Alright, so let me think. I'll turn that way down just to keep these warm. I'll go get the other bearings, the new ones, ready to drop in. They should just plop right in there. Okay, that's hot as blazes. Make sure you put these bearings in the right way. If you get them in the wrong way, you'll just have to take them out again with any luck. There we go. That's one. Now I'll go get the timing side and install that. Right. Now we're ready for the timing side bearing. Again, make sure you install these the right way. Look at that, just drops right in. That's what you want to see. I don't know how hot that case is right now, but I think I had them heated up to, I think about 350 when those fell out. So it's probably still about that temperature. So anyway, there they are in there. I'll wait for everything to cool off, and those bearings ought to be in place exactly the way they should be. Okay, let's just talk about bearings here for a few seconds anyway. These are the two bearings that I took out of the bottom end of the Commando engine. This one, if I can get it apart and show you. Again, it's hard to work one-handed. But this one here, that's the drive side. As you can see, it's a roller bearing. Roller bearings having a little more surface contact area can take a little more strain than a ball bearing, but a ball bearing can also handle a bit of a thrust load as well. This particular one is a heavy duty ball bearing, and I knew that before I even took it out because I could see these grooves that are cut in the races. They're there so that they can assemble these ball bearings together. This one, I believe, has got 10 balls in it. Let's just count here between the pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10 balls in that one. So that's quite a few balls for a ball bearing to have in it. And the thing is, in order to get all those balls in, you have to assemble. They assemble these without the cage in here first, so they can pull down the center race as far as they can and stuff the balls in. Now you can only go so far with that. Like here's one that's exactly the same size. I don't remember what this one is out of, but it's fitted with a seal here originally, so it would have been a seal bearing whatever it's from. But this is an 8-ball unit. It's not meant for as heavy a workload as the 10-ball one, but it's still a pretty heavy-duty piece of kit. Anyway, this one could have been assembled by, having these race keepers out of here and pushing that down to one end and then just dropping the balls in between the races, right? But when you get this many balls in here, you need to have a groove like this machined in there so you can get those last couple of balls in and then install your bearing keeper in after that to hold everything. So that's why they're like that. This is not from the Commando engine. Frankly, it's exactly the same size in every dimension. You could probably use it if you really, really had to, but this would not last as long as this. And these are the ones that usually fail when something goes wrong, because these bearings are really not meant to take up the flexibility that you get with these Norton cranks. And well, frankly, that's why they switched over in the later years to the super blend type bearings here. They are also a roller type bearing, but the rollers are sort of I guess you'd call it slightly barrel shaped, so they can take up any misalignment that might happen when the crank begins to flex at really high speeds. But frankly, I don't drive an old bike like that. I don't think they deserve it. And anyway, some people do. So any of those bearings there, I've never ever in my life heard of a set of super blend bearings going. I have seen these ones go over here. And what happens when that ball bearing fails, it's usually to do with the bearing keeper here coming apart and allowing the balls to all jam together. Well, what happens then is they all get on one side, and this goes out of alignment, drops down, and then your crankshaft, the drive to your oil pump, goes into the oil pump and smashes the oil pump and causes all kinds of nasty little problems. So that's why I like to change out these bearings, even on a bike with really, really light service like this one's obviously had. But anyway, there's my little blurb on bearings. Hey, a little before and after. These are kind of coarse looking rods for Norton. Usually you find or I have found well-polished rods in there on every other Commando and even Atlases I've taken apart, but these are just, basically come out of the forge and just had the forging flash cleaned off of them and used by the looks of them. But anyway, I like to polish my connecting rods when I'm working on engines, even BSAs, that didn't ever have polished rods in them. When they leave my shop, they all have polished rods. It's supposed to make them a little bit stronger. And besides that, even though nobody's ever going to see them but me, until the next person that takes the machine apart, I just like to put that nice finish on them and make sure that you don't have any stress risers or anything like that could eventually work their way into becoming a crack, which would be disastrous. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I can see my reflection in them sometimes, so I'll have to clean this one up now to match the other one. Well, there now, that's the second one, all nicely polished up. That one's ready to go back into. Of course, they need to be cleaned off because they're all full of polishing compound. One thing I wanted to mention, which I don't want to forget when I'm putting the engine together, you're going to find that there's a little tiny hole on one side of this connecting rod, and it goes to the main bearing. The idea of that is that oil from the crankshaft is supposed to spurt up through that little hole and spurt on the sides of the crankcase so that they can help to lubricate that bit of oil coming through there will help to lubricate the main bearings. These main bearings in these engines don't have their own specific supply because they are roller or old ball bearings, depending on whether you've revamped the engine to modern standards or not. But anyway, make sure that little hole is clear. And like I said, these are all full of polishing compound now, so I'm going to have to put them in the parts washer and clean them all off. But I think I'll wait to do that another day, like after the bearings and the other parts I'm waiting for come in. Okay, I've been bouncing around a little bit with this particular video. We did the crankcase bearings, then we polished up the connecting rods and that sort of thing. But I've done a little bit of research and a little bit of investigation on the bike itself, and I'll turn this camera around now and show you what I found here on it. Okay, well, definitely this bike was an S model, like my old one there used to be. The reason how I know that for sure, these wear marks here on the Z plate. I don't know if the camera's picking them up or not, but I'll move around a little bit. There, you can see them there now. That's definitely an indication that the high pipes were rubbing up against that. It did give way. My own early machine over there has some bolt marks right in this area where the muffler clamps were actually banging into the Z plate, and plus you quite often see like about a 45-degree wear mark on the end of that stud as well, coming from the isoelastic mounts there. So it was definitely an S model, even though it does not have the round bash bar on front. Why doesn't it have that on there? I don't know. Maybe it got in an accident, somebody replaced it. Maybe it came off the line with those on it. And I know that a lot of very knowledgeable people are going to freak out about me saying that, say, no, this one did not come with this, and this one did not come with that. But I've been working on these things for 35 years, and especially with these early Commandos, the first real sale year of them was 69. They did come out in 68, but they really didn't hit the sales floor over here, at least in North America, till 68 in any big numbers. And frankly, I think they just came off the line with whatever happened to be in the box at the same time, but I could be wrong about that. But after seeing so many of these bikes over the years and working on so many of them, I don't really think there was any particular rhyme or reason, to what side covers came on your bike or what headlight mount came on your bike. Whatever was going on them going down the line, that's what they put on them. At least that's what I think. Anyway, I could be dead wrong. But plus, there's the question of, I don't know all the history of this bike. I don't know the first owner. I don't know the second owner. The guy I bought it from, he might have been the second or third owner, but whether he would have any clue as to what this bike actually looked like when it was new, I have no idea. And that's the trouble with when you buy something this old, especially the first or second year production, especially something that come out of Britain, because I don't think they were too fussy about what they put on their machines. And I've got into some pretty heavy debates with people over the years on that, but I won't get into that. Now, those head pipes, they are definitely interstate head pipes, and the interstate did not exist in 1969, so that's something that definitely got put on there by one of the previous owners. I figure he put them on so he could fit panniers to the bike and saddlebags, because this had the pannier racks on the back of it when I first got it. And anyway, yeah, so that's, I figure, is why they fitted those interstate pipes off it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not sure, but I think I'm probably going to fit the early cigar type, mufflers that were fitted to the Atlas, that sort of thing, because I think they look nice on the R model, and I'm going for that R model look with this particular bike. Oh yeah, there's my latest model up there. That one I've been working on for a long time. Anyway, Snoopy stole it, so he's flying it around now, but I won't be building any models for a while. All right, what else do I know about this bike? I can tell you that it was definitely Fireflake red. I'll be painting it myself, and I've replicated that before, so I can do that. I'm not a professional body man or a painter, but I can fumble my way through it. I've done it before, and well, if I get crazy, I do have a couple of friends who are hell of a good painters, who I know they could do an awesome job on this machine for me, but they might be a little too expensive for my taste. So anyhow, that's it for this video. You can like, share, and subscribe if you please, and thanks for watching.